Get your paper, nigga. On the block, getting dumb. Grind, stack, flip. Just to let you know. Get your paper, nigga. Stack it up like Lego.
Good for that shit.
Now what's next? Posted on the block and my niggas stay clocking. Not young jock, but
weed bottle popping. It's a must that we wrap it up.
Nobody South Doodle. You know him.
Everybody knows him.
Damn it. Was it pick right up 1,000 times? Shit, it was a pick right there. It was a goddamn. I used to call him Chris Rock.
Oh, GGG. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Keep them waves bringing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to catch them birds flying in from down south. When I come up, you come up. Believe that. Yeah. I ain't never leaving no man behind. I feel like the army, my nigga. Never leave a man behind. That's how we get down, man. We ain't even from down south, man. But guess what, man? We still getting it in, man.
Technically, we is because our ancestors came from.
We getting it in, man. Yeah, that's pork chops, man. Some niggas like pork, man. We gotta cater to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, man? I'm in the 614, man.
What this documentary about?
Oh, my documentary about the whole lifestyle of our life. How we get down, how we live, and everything, how we go. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter where you at. You gotta be who you are, no matter where you at. And I'm telling you that. Be who you are, no matter where you at. And you'll be alright.
We just chilling. My aunt just texted me and told me to come eat, but I'm eating. I got shit on the grill. I'm hitting swerves. I'm eating right now.
Swerves? What you got?
Man, come across the clock, man. Get your work on, man. I mean, I know you're tired of exercising, running the track and all that shit, man. Come and get your work on. You're gonna lose weight anyway.
Clock at the same time. Tonight, mastermind. The
You
master.
see that OHIO, nigga?
The master.
He ain't playing. Go Cleveland Cavaliers. Bring that shit home.
This nigga tired, man. He went to the game last night. You know that shit? This nigga tired, Cliff. Motherfuckers went to the motherfucking game, bruh. I'm jealous. Don't even hate saying that shit. Some niggas went to the Cavs game. We ain't gonna go to the championship no time soon again, I don't think so. That's a once in a lifetime joint right there, you know?
So what you got going on, man?
Shit, man, I'm just hustling right now. You know, trying to get my family back together. I ain't really got too much shit. Music and money.
That's your day-to-day grind, right?
Pretty much.
Music and money. That sound like the name of the album.
Yeah, maybe.
So what you got? What's your plans for the future? Like the rest of this year or next year?
No, man, it's just always open. You know, I'm down for whatever. So, you know, if y'all got some plans, get at me.
How they gonna get at you?
Facebook. Hostile X420.
What if they can't get you on that?
Instagram, same name. Hostile X.
What about on the email?
HostileX420@gmail.com.
Alright.
Dessert.
I've been talking to Tony, Latin King leader, getting ready to bring him back down. I've been talking to Big U, homie out there in LA who's doing a lot in South Central and parts of LA. Been talking to Tone, C-Dub, talking to my man Mike, Gotti's people, John Gotti's people, Joy Testa's nephew, Anthony Testa, you know, which is the Italian families, you know, everybody's taking a part, being involved in this, you know, trying to stop a lot of the foolishness that we're doing. have to give them something to look forward to other than death in prison. You know, and show them that it's never too late to change what you're doing in your life, you know. We have to give them something different. And the only way you can do that is go in the community where these young people are and reach out to them. Later on this evening, Rick will be going into one of the, it's like an orphanage here. We're lucky to have Aeileon video all the stuff we've been doing in the community, which is bringing awareness to the community. Aeileon got some deep music too. Y'all need to check that out. Yeah.
Freeway Rick. It was not uttered in all, at least not in the beginning, to be poor and illiterate in the shadow of the 110, Highway 110, was to be a junkie type freeway boy. Later, when he emerged as the first crack boss of the Cataclysm 80s, after he went from slinging $25 socks to wholesaling 1 million loads, that moniker sounded like a Southern California joyride. Slick, agile, unfretted, one step ahead of the law. Freeway Rick got so rich fast, he began to think of himself the way a charismatic preacher might, as if God had put him on this earth to sell cocaine. It took some psychological acrobats to ignore the sickness he was spreading. But he was good at that too. In Rick's mind, he was creating wealth, lifting up his community. The chosen one was the phrase that he at one time used. But you know, Rick went to jail and was given a lifetime sentence that was later reduced. But after, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to introduce the speakers tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand and give a round of applause for Rick Ross.
First of all, thank everybody for coming out. What I've learned in my life is that we are a product of what we're around. I went to prison, I was totally illiterate. Had never read a book, had never tried to read a book. And what I found out, when I sit back and I started to write my own autobiographies, well, it wasn't cool in my community to read books. But it became cool to be a drug dealer. See, when the movie Superfly came out, and me and my homies, as we called ourselves, went to the theaters and we saw this movie, for the first time in my life, I had saw a black man that I wanted to be like. So when I left that theater that night, I was about 15 years old. And even though I didn't have the means to act upon those desires until I was 19 years old, what I found out is that by me planting that seed in my mind of what I wanted to be, when my big homie came and showed me cocaine for the first time, my mind grasped it like that. While I was in prison, I read over 300 books, mostly business, a few novels, but not many. The only reason I read a novel if I was planning on making a movie out of it, and there was a few stories that I ran across that I thought that our people need to hear about, because it showed us in a light that I had never saw or showed them before. Well, I read some books that talk about the subconscious mind. And what I found out about the subconscious mind is that if you keep thinking about something long enough, what happens to it is that it doesn't stay inside your conscious mind. It seeps back into what they call the subconscious mind. And in the subconscious mind, it plants it in there and it stays, what's the word? officer in there, is that the word? He just sits there, he just dormant, that's the word, dormant. He just stays dormant there. But whenever it's needed, it pops up. So what I found out that when my homie first introduced me to cocaine, that I already had that sitting dormant in my mind. So when he offered me that opportunity, I jumped on it, and it was so passionate about it that I went in it head over heels. I went in it so hard that something that I had been dreaming about all my life of becoming, which was a tennis player, started to take the back. Also, while I was there in prison, I found out that I could do anything that I wanted to do if I put my mind to it. See, when I was sitting in prison, guys would be coming in and a lot of these young guys are getting a lot of time, 20 years. I seen a guy, 18 years old, my first cellie, he got 20 years, he was 18 years old. The feds waited. They could have arrested him when he was 17, he went to juvenile hall, but they waited to arrest him to the next day when he turned 18. They got him the day after his birthday, they arrested him, he wound up getting 20 years in prison. And what I found out is that if we put our all into whatever we're going after, then we can't fail. See, I knew I was going to prison. See, he didn't know. My little cellie, he didn't know he was going to prison. He didn't know that if he went out and sold crack cocaine, that he wasn't going to get rich, and that he was going to be going to jail for 20 years. Now, I didn't know that when I went to jail that I was going to be looking at a life sentence. I didn't know that. But I was perfectly willing to sacrifice going to prison to put my family in a position that none of us had ever been in before. See, I grew up in East Texas where I was born, but I was raised in LA. We moved. But every summer, my mom sent me back to Texas to go and work with my uncle in Texas. My uncles worked in the hayfield. They hauled pulpwood. They hauled logs. They dug fences. And what I noticed about them is they had a way of, when they went around white people, they bowed down. My uncles, my mom, and all of them in East Texas, if they came up to a white person, even if the white person was younger than them, they still had to bow down and say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and they would call them by their first name. So right off the bat, I started to disassociate myself with a lot of the things that my mom was saying because I couldn't see myself bowing down to nobody. I didn't want to bow down to nobody. I felt that I was just as important as anybody that was there. And that if I treat you with respect, then you should treat me with respect. So I was perfectly willing to go to prison to change the situation for my family. So with me going to prison, I knew that I was going to prison. I knew that.